Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. I'm Deanna. Today we'll be working on week 16 of my 52 weeks of Christmas, my challenge for myself. Hope you feel like joining in and following along. Subscribe to my channel by hitting the red notice down below and also hit the bell button to be notified every time I put up a new video. I do other videos other than the Christmas ones. So please drop in and take a look. I appreciate all my subscribers and look forward to enjoying new ones as they come along. So I have pre-cut my papers and got a few things ready for us today. We're going to be using the Authentique. I had two papers. Well, I had three actually. I had two of this 12 by 12 and then I had one of the one that had the different tags on it. I have cut them all apart because that just makes it easier for me to store. If you remember in week 15, I did a project also using this paper line, and it was this little ornament made inside of a lid to a mason jar. It was a largemouth lid, and I used the one that had the bird on it for that. So I wanted to continue using some of this up. And this is an older paper. I don't know the year. It is from the what collection? Solitude collection. So like I said, I had two of this sheet, and I still got one of those. And I also have just a few tags left of that. So I have prepped some things to use. We may not use all of them, or we might. And I will go through the things that where I got them as we go along. So I have, this is just a embroidery hoop from Hobby Lobby, and they sell them various craft outlets and Michael's, Joann's, and I just painted this gray just to give it a coat of paint. I've tightened down my thing because I don't need this loose. I've also taken a piece of chipboard from one of my packs of paper. This is probably what I would call a lightweight chipboard. It's heavier than cereal box, but it's lighter than medium weight chipboard. So it's like the backing that might come on some of your paper packs. So what I did is I set my ring on, my hoop on there, drew a circle around, and then I stayed well within inside the lines, probably about 1/8 of an inch all the way around, so that it did not hang over, but it wasn't too small to remain glued on. And the reason I wanted this was to stiffen up this back because we're going to be putting stuff on that, and I knew the weight of my paper alone would probably not be enough. So let's go ahead and get some glue going on this, and we'll get this glued together. I'm going to keep my band that tightens this metal thing. I'm going to keep that at the top of my project, and I'm just going to go around here, try to quickly lay a bead of glue on here before it can dry up. And if it gets on the inside, that's no biggie. We can kind of wipe it off. And the nice thing is it's wood, so it doesn't dry up too quickly. I want to be careful not to burn myself either. So we're just going to kind of line that up like so. There we go. Let's kind of look at it from underneath here. Push it. All right. And I'm going to peel back any glue right now to make that neater, and it's easier to do right now. It just kind of rubs right off. We're going to turn this way and press on that. And there's a little bit of glue there. I'm going to get rid of that because I don't want my paper to be bumped up. A little bit here. I'm going to do the same thing. It's nice and soft yet, so we can just peel that away with our nail. And that's probably why my nails never do very good. They are used as tools quite often. Hard to break old habits, you know. All right, so that should be secure enough. Now I probably will just tie a ribbon around this metal piece for hanging. You could take a level right hanger or something and glue it right on the back if you'd like. I am not going to put anything on the back of this right now, but you could cut an additional piece and cut it. This is cut smaller for the inside, but you could cut another piece to coordinate on the outside. And maybe later on I might, some of these things will be sold, so eventually. So then I probably will cover the back, finish it. I think a burlap would look pretty on there too. So maybe we'll do that. Or muslin would look nice too. But, okay. So now this piece, I did the same thing. I put my ring on there. And I measured it for the inside. And I went ahead and I cut that all out. There. And there is probably going to be a way where it's... Yep. Oh, you know what I did? I think I tightened down my ring after I cut this. So let's just trim this down just a little bit here. I'm just going to cut where I can kind of see the edge. There is going to be some stuff on there. That probably, let's see if we got it. And that's what I did. I tightened down my hoop after. Right here. Try to find out where it's laying right. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this part up here, and I'm going to see how it folds up. I'm going to kind of crease it with my finger. And I glue right down in there. I don't want to keep cutting it down. All right. So now I have an edge here that you can see. We are going to be putting this in here, so I'm going to keep that there. That will cover up that little edge there. But what I need to do is kind of trim this down here. So I'm going to mark that. And then we're just going to go in here, trim this section down here to allow for some more room. There we go. Slid right in there that time. Okay. I'm going to use my art glitter glue for this. Oops. I do want to make sure I keep the right side over there. This one here, it's got to go on my left-hand side. There we go. My glue is being stuck. And the reason I don't use hot glue on this is because it will dry too much before you can get it completely laid down, and it will leave bumps underneath your paper. So we don't want bumps underneath our paper. Whoops, and then how did I twist that? There we go. We're just going to smooth that out. Let's go ahead and make sure we get a good connection with our other page. There we go. All right. Now I do have some of this, and it was from Hobby Lobby. I think it was in where they got their little miniature tree decorations. I think it was in there, but I don't have enough to go all the way around. So, I'm not sure if I want to do it on the inside or the outside. I also have this right here, which is like a trim. I think it's from Simplicity. I don't know what the name of it is. It's just called Trim. But it's Simplicity Trim. I thought about doing that along the inside there. And then those could lay right on top of there. I thought that might look cute, but I don't, they're so big. They're maybe a little bit smaller. All right, I'm kind of thinking no on that because of the size of them. Let's go ahead and start gluing this along the top. This is good piece of pick that I had. I'm going to glue that right here. So we don't need to start our trim until right here. So I'm going to get that mark there. And we'll just start this here like that. And I think because of the way this is laid out, I think I'm just going to put dots underneath the snowflakes with the hot glue because the pearls are smaller and I don't want the hot glue showing necessarily. It'll take some time here, but we'll get it. And if you want to fast forward through this part, you sure can. But I don't like to prep everything because then you don't see the whole process. Some things I feel I have to prep because of time of drying and things like that, like painting and stuff. So this is way too time consuming. Let me see if I can just do a thin bead on the center here. One thing I am not known for is my patience when I'm doing things like this sometimes. Sometimes I am. Sometimes it just depends on what it is. And if I think I can do it faster than I like to. Because I know, like me, your time is valuable. And I don't charge anything for any of my videos, so if I can make it faster and easier for myself too, I like it. There we go. That's not noticeable. Get that to step out. Yeah, see, it's not. Let me pull that up. It's not holding on there for some reason. Yeah. I wonder if it's because it's the wood. That one's holding. Okay, we need a little bit heavier glue, I guess. Okay. So let's see what we get here. Needs to be a little thicker. That was not heavy enough to hold that. So let's try again. See what happens. And that once that sits up a second, I'm gonna. There we go. There we go. All right. Doesn't do any good if it doesn't stick, right? Okay. Hopefully that will stay now. A little bit heavier and not go as far before I lay it down. There we go. Ooh, that was warm. That's warm. Okay. Getting there. I might be able to put some snow text along the edge too, if I think it needs to be concealed more. Of course, we'll go back and pull any glue strings that are stringing out. All right, turn this for you here. And I just hold that back out of my way while I lay my bead of glue so it doesn't get stuck in there. Okay. I'm going to take just the edge here. I don't want to burn my fingers in there. Okay, just a little bit more. And then you'll see how short we are. If you have a piece that does extend the length you need, by all means do that. I just didn't, and I thought this would be pretty on here with the snow. And so thought, you know what, might as well use it up. I've got so much product in my craft room that I really just have to start using some of these things up too. You know, they always come out with new things, and if you got a bunch of stuff already, and you don't want to keep loading up. Let's see, that looks nice. And it's just little snowflakes and pearls. Okay. Let's put our pin in our glue here. There we go. So like I said, I have pre-cut these out of the cards. And what I did with this one was I took some Wink of Stella, and you probably won't see it. I don't know if you can see it or not, if it gets a little glimmer. I just made little dots of snow. And I think it's a white Wink of Stella because I put it on this tree here where the snow was on this tree, and it turned white. So I'm guessing I have the white. It didn't say in the bottom, but I can't. Oh, there you go. There's a little glimmer. And I actually put foam dots on the back of this one. And this one I added just red stickles. I just did the berries. And I also did, this Noel is cut out of my Cricut. And these leaves are also, the holly leaves are also cut out of my Cricut. And I just took the stickles to pull them in on that. And I did that yesterday, so they had plenty of time to dry. I also used the Wink of Stella on the Noel, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it on there. Yeah. So, and all I did here, this is not glued on here, I just kind of slid it behind there. So, it's kind of intertwined. So those I cut 4 of the greens, and I used the 1 green there on the Noel. And then I had 3 of the whites. And they were actually cut for a different project, but I decided not to do that project. And rather than let those pieces get lost in the shuffle, I decided to use them in here. I pulled some other things that we'll go through. I've made some flowers. But let's go ahead and get some of these things tacked down here. This I'm going to lay flat on the page. I want to make sure, like I said, that my center point is up. I'm just putting some art glitter glue on this. And we're going to glue this right down. We've got dimension with the other 2. So I just want to kind of more up to the top. There we go. Okay, this one I'm going to put right in here. So I'm going to pull those other backings off of the dots. I'm going to add a little bit of art glitter glue on the tops there. I'm going to do this one on an angle, just like that. I'm going to press my outside ones first to touch that center. Just kind of let it sit in there. This one, I have taken scraps from another project. It's actually the angles from my roof of my Explosion Box Fairy album, and I don't throw these away. This is my medium weight chipboard, and I don't throw them away. What I've done is, because I wanted this up, I didn't want it over the edge, but I wanted it up high enough, so it's about a 1/16 of an inch just below my edge there. Well, about 1/8 of an inch. Let's go 1/8 of an inch below the edge. And I just cut off pieces and stacked them one at a time and just glued them together. They're all different shapes, Doesn't really matter. No one's going to see it. So I just stacked them up to the height I wanted and left it at that. Now I'm debating whether or not to round those corners. And you know what? I think I'm not going to. I think I'm going to leave the corners the way they are. Okay, I like that. I'm just going to take some of my art glue and we're just going to glue this down. This is the same way that I stacked them together. And how I got that curve on there was I just sat it before it was stacked together like that. I just took it underneath the frame here like this, lined it up to where I wanted it, made that edge, and then just cut that off with my scissors so I had that curve. Actually, I did it from the inside. So I put this under, and from the inside I made my pencil mark so I knew exactly how my curve was going to go in there. So I just lined her up the way I wanted to. All right, so now I have these, and I think I'm just going to kind of lay them in, go in different directions and stuff. I didn't do anything to these. I might go ahead after it's all done and go ahead and put the red stickles on with you. I did not do that yesterday, so they would not have time to dry while I'm handling them, and I don't want to get red stickles all over myself or the project. So maybe we'll do some of that right after we're done. So I'm just going to place those, and I just thought I'd kind of mix them. You can see the back of this one was different here. I don't know what it was, but it's white on the side. You can do them different heights too. You know, we can have it curling up on there like that if we want. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just have it kind of up on the edge like that, just to give it a different effect. And this is all in what is favorable to your eye and what your aesthetics that you like. These are just ideas. There is no set way that is the right way or the wrong way. And it's all in what you like. And we're going to do this one here, and I think maybe I'll just have that curl going up there, maybe not. Let's do, and I'm going to put some flowers on here too, so I'm not worried about the center of that so much. We did make some of our own flowers, so those will kind of cover some of that. Let me hold that up so you can get a good look at it so far. You can see the dimension there. It's kind of, there we go. And you could put here, oh, I know what's on the back of these. I had cut cereal boxes also to stiffen these for the other project. That's why there's pattern on the back there. It took me a second to figure out how I had pure white paper, and then all right, so let's sneak one of these down in here. They don't all have to be here. And then let's sneak another one maybe coming out of here. They don't show up as much when they're, that one's kind of curled, but I think I'm going to leave it curled just to add some dimension. So let's just, you just need enough to hold it. Alright, let's just go ahead and by tucking that edge underneath there, it hides at its ends. So these are the flowers that I did. They're all the same. Now, I did not have a pattern paper that matched this close enough that I wanted for my poinsettias. So what I did was I took this is a Spellbinders die, and it is S4-960, and it comes with 4 different sizes of the, they're actually leaves, poinsettias are leaves, so it came with 4 of these, and we will put one together, so then I'll have 5. So what I've done is I have the 4 pieces. Let me set this aside a second. Here's the 4 pieces I've cut out. I've pre-bent or trained those 3, and we're going to do the largest one together. The largest one actually measures about 2 1/4 inches. So, and the smallest one is about 1 1/4. So, I mean, this is just not exact measurements, I'm sure. So what I did was I took my nail and I just kind of creased it right there. Now they do have some detail, and it's probably hard to see on this pattern paper, but when you cut the dies, as you can see in here, they actually do leave some leaf marks. So you can go by that. So I just take my nail and I kind of make a crease there, and then I pinched it, just the tip, just like that. And you can pinch them up or down, however you want. And I've got my other thumb, and I'm just kind of pressing that down there. Now you can twist it if you want, but that's how I did these. And you can tell I don't have very long nails, so I'm just like hitting the center like that, just pushing down into my other finger through the paper, and then just pressing that like that, and it gives me that nice little angle on there. So then what I did is I have these that I ordered from AliExpress, and there are their flower stamens, and I know they have some cake ones, but these ones are not edible, so and I don't know if the other ones are either, but I just avoided anything that said for cake decorating, because I thought, well, if they're edible, which would make sense for cake decorating, right? I don't want that, because then they might dissolve away. And they actually come with this wire, real thin wire wrapped around them. So I'm going to take this wire and I've bent it, just a little piece like that. And I've only took 5 for each one of these. And I'm going to run the center of those right like that. So I've taken the string, and I'm trying to get to the center as close as I can get. And as you can see, that's like almost like a little hook. So now I want to try to match those up pretty close, just like that. So now what I do is I just kind of take that like that, kind of pinch them together. And this could be shorter too, I just left it. I'm going to take my smallest one, and these have a hole already in them. If you have a poinsettia that does not have a hole in it, then you can punch a hole. And I just pull those strings together right through there. I'm going to kind of hold that. Take my glue gun here, get it in my area. So now I'm going to take my next biggest one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull that, whoops, looks like they moved a little bit. There we go. Pull that through, and I want to make sure that they are offset. So these petals end up in the center of those petals. I'm not going to pull it all the way yet. I'm going to kind of hold that back with my finger. Put a little hot glue right there on the bottom of that petal, and then I'm going to make sure they're lined up, and then I'm going to pull it up so that they're glued together. I kind of bend them up with my fingers to kind of cup them a little bit, but you don't have to do that until you're all done. So then I'm going to take my next one, do the same thing. I'm going to pull, and these have a nice good size hole. I don't have any trouble getting those strings through there. Another little dab of glue on the bottom there. Make sure they're offset from each other. And just give it a little push. I just kind of push my fingers up against the bottom there. Just be careful in case the hot glue leaked out. And then the last one is the largest one. And we're going to put that through. And you can do these type of flowers for any of your projects. And it does not have to be poinsettia. It can just be any flower. And as you can see, they're off center. And I'm going to pull it up. And again, I'm just kind of pushing that up with my finger. Give them a little crease. Give them some, a little more dimension. And then I take the wire out, and that is it. I did not cut my strings off. I don't feel a need. They're not going to be seen. So I'm not worried about it. Again, these are from AliExpress. And I think this was one of the teal colors, but I just kind of went by the picture for the color of what they had and picked out the colors I liked. So it does take approximately, those actually came pretty quick. I think it was a couple weeks for those, but they do say a month. So if it's something you need right away, then it's probably not your best choice. I know Hobby Lobby does sell some flower stamens in their bridal department. They're bigger, a lot bigger than these. These are nice and tiny, as you can see. They're just tiny, which is perfect. All right, so let's bring this back in. And continue on. I also cut because I like to, in my projects, if I can, include the name of the product I'm using somewhere. So all I did with this is I took the tag, oops, I made sure it was even, just snipped up a little bit, however far you want, however long you want your little tabs, and then I come in from each side right to that center mark. And that's how you get your little banner things. Nice and easy. You don't need a machine for that. And if you're not sure where the center is, take your ruler, make a little mark at the center, how far up you want. And then go. And then this was on the strip 2 of this at the top of the paper. And it says, silently like thoughts that come and go, the snowflakes fall, each one is a gem. W.H. Gibson. So we're going to include that in there. And what I've done is I've just taken my finger and ran it one way, just kind of pinching it lightly, not enough so it rips, and then taking it and does the other way. Gives you that nice curve. So we'll probably put that in somewhere. Let's try to see where we can get some of these flowers. Oh, let's glue this on. This is going to take up the most room. So let's go ahead and glue this on. There we go. And just like that. See if that's enough glue to hold that. And this, like I said, was just a pick that I had. It actually had a good size owl. It's not good size owl attached to it that I just pulled off. I want something for my fingers. Here we go. Maybe I can use this. There we go. It's metal, so it wants to kind of like pull away a little bit. So that's why I'm holding this just for a few seconds longer. And I like that because it covers up that metal. And if you don't have this hoop, but you have like a canvas, you can flip your canvas over and use the back side, the depth of that, to create this same type of depth that we have here. So it does not have to be a hoop, but they're inexpensive. And sometimes you can even find them at garage sale or thrift stores. And it does not have to be a brand new one. If you can pull it apart and use it. There we go. So we're going to leave that like that. My Noel. Whoops. Go back in there like that. I didn't have no set way to do it. I just kind of liked the way it was sitting in there. There we go. And I kind of like, I'm not going to set that in yet. I have some pine cones that we're going to use. So let's go ahead and these are from a tree out in my yard, which I do not have anymore because they got too big. So last year they were cut down and replaced with new trees of a different kind. So I no longer have that source, which is sad because they're the cutest little ones ever. So, but you know, you can't have, if they're not doing what they are designed to do anymore, you sometimes have to get rid of them. It's unfortunate, but I actually want some smaller ones for this display here. Did that just drip glue? Sure did. It's dripping glue. Let me set it over there so I'm not dripping on my project. There we go. Let's see if I can find some more smaller ones here. And these aren't my tiniest ones. I do have some that are very tiny. But, these are not huge by some standards. This is small enough. And I have some white teeth and thing here we might be able to use. I also had this fence that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's from their fairy department. And I thought maybe a piece of this might be cute in there. But I'm not sure. Well, yeah. Maybe like in there. Let's go ahead and see if I can. I do have nippers, but I'm just wondering if I can just bring that back and forth and see if it'll break. Not so fast. All right, let me get my nippers. They're right here. Alrighty. Here we go. So we'll just, I'm almost afraid to. Okay. Out of my way. All right. So I'm wondering. Kind of bent it a little bit. See, to give it some other dimension. And I do want a couple of these flowers in here, at least one. And I need 1, 2 here. So let's glue these ones here because I know I need to cover up that spot. So before I would run out of them, I want to make sure I have it. And I may just, I think I'm going to trim that off a little bit. And it's hot glued in there, so there we go. Just so it doesn't show later on. All right, so let's slide that one in there, just like that. All right, do the same from this one. And just make sure if you're going to cut the strings off that you are hot glued in there pretty good. Let's put that one right next to it. Nice bit of glue. Let's see. Let me see this a second here. So I want to make sure that glue is hitting that wood, and it is. It is. Okay. I'm going to let those sit a second just to make sure they're, yeah, see? I need just a little bit more there. There we go. That's a bit of glue. That's, oh goodness sakes. Okay. Might take a minute for them to set up. As you can see there. There we go. All right. And then let's snip this one here. And I for sure want one right in the center there to help conceal that. Like I said, we made 5 of them with the odd numbers. I'm going to kind of slide it a bit under there. Let that set up. And then this one. Okay, so if I have my fence like so, and I don't care if it hangs off, I think that actually kind of gives it some character. But see, this has got fence too, so I'm just wondering to mimic that. No, I kind of like it down this way. So it kind of takes up this empty area here. So I'm going to glue this, hot glue this part here, and then right there. Once this sets up, then I will hot glue the other area. But I want this to set up first, so I'm not manipulating that and moving it around. We got that one. Let's add another one right there. We're just slowly filling in with all of our elements. Oops, I don't want to push on that. I don't want it down. There we go. These are Noel. Now would our Noel look good? It would not look good there. I'm wondering if up on here, like that, shows that one underneath. Oh, I kind of like that. It's elevated so that it's got dimension. Can still see the one underneath. All right, so I'm gonna kind of tack this to there a second, just so it's not moving around a lot. Just kind of tack that to there. Maybe right here too on that. Just so it kind of holds it. There we go. And then, let me see if I can get back there. We were kind of just like that. So I really only need glue here and there. So here, and I think on my L is where I need it. Under here. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Now I did have a red Noel cut out too, but I thought the white was more subtle. Excuse me. And went better. I just wanted just hints of the red coming through because there was the little red berries in the paper already. All right, let's go. I think this is set now. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue here and here. And got that bent up there like that. Let me hold it. I don't think I have a clip big enough to hold that. So we're just going to hold it with the thumb here, just for a little bit. I also had these little, they might be too big. They were in the Christmas picks, and I just loved them. It's the real cotton plant. And I grabbed the last one they had when I bought that. I think that was from Joann's, I think. I think it was Joann's, but I'm not sure. There we go. Oh, nope, that's not good. Get your wire back there. There we go. All right. And I think maybe one of these flowers might look good right in here. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and put one of those right in here. I like that, I think. I think that'll look good. I'm going to hot glue on the back. And we're just going to set it in there, just like so. Perfect. Give you guys a look at what's going on here. I just love the vintage papers, and Authentique is known for their vintage look. I'm just wondering if we should have that there or here. Let's go ahead and, oops. Let me see. Just gonna leave that sit there a second. Just snip that off. It's just getting in my way. Yeah. Let me just sit that there. Let my eye look at it a minute. And where do I have these are my smaller. Oh, you know what? Let's see what these offer. Let's uh-oh. Lost one. Oh, there they are. Oh my God, where did I put my notes? Okay, so let's see here. If these help. Let's see what we got here. I might need to cut this one off here. There we go. Maybe we'll stick one under there. And I've just bent that down, that metal, and I just squished one on the floor. So we're just gonna set that like that. And we have this other one that was there. And we'll just stick you in from this angle maybe. Not sure about that one yet. Maybe I need to cut that shorter. Let me see. Got quite a long. Not liking that. Nope. Nope. So there you go. Don't like the length of this one. Look if I can bend that one down, get it closer to that one. Wrap it around maybe a few more times. I just don't like it so much taller than the other one, so maybe that'll work. Let me see. Oh yeah, that'll be good. Tuck it in that way so that it's coming out like up here, like that. Gives it a nice white. All right, let me see what else we got here. Maybe that one with the 3. That's 2, those are closer together. This one has 3. Not there. Okay. Let's go ahead and glue this one down there. Just like that. Perfect. And then I think we can slide this one down under there, just like that. Perfect. There we go. And then you can see how tiny these ones are. Let me get a couple here. I mean, they are tiny. And these I got from a park in, actually the hometown I was born and raised in. And was there one day, and I was actually looking for seeds to what we call a beech nut tree. And I came across these little tiny, and I have no idea the name of them. I'm sure there's somebody out there that could say, oh yeah, they're blah, blah, blah. I'm just not that person. Just not that person. I do want to try to get this in there. Our little saying. This side, make sure I get it going the right way. That is cute. Oh. And I'm just moving it around, trying to see where it catches my eye the best. I got Noel there, so I'd really rather not do it there. I don't want to block her face. I kind of like that. Oh yeah, I kind of like that right there. Okay. It's balanced on the fence and on the wood there. I'm going to hold my fingers here, and then I need a little glue here. And we're going to let that set, and then we'll do it on the fence after that's all set. It makes it easier. And we're not fighting with it. Just like that. There we go. Okay. What else do we have here? All right, we're not going to use that. We're not going to use those. Those are too big. We're done with the whites. We need something. We have our little authentique tag. I wonder if I could slide that in here somewhere. End up like that. Can you see that? That might look cute. Slid right in there. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think I'm going to do that. Just slide it right in there at the top. You can still see. Okay, I'm just going to put a little dab of glue in there. We don't want too much because those pine needles will melt. Oh, there they go. There. Well, I think that's cute. And you don't have to do that. It's just something I like to do. It reminds me of the paper line, although I would see the tag with the poem or saying on it, and I would know it was authentic because that's what they do on theirs. So let's see here. Oh, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to glue this right in between these two. Just like that. It should fill that in. Okay. Let me see if I got some more small ones in here. I think I should have something maybe up on there. Some of my small ones are just break. I've had them for a couple of years. I'm going to have to go soon. This summer, take my grandsons to ride their bikes there. They love it. It's all hilly, and of course it scares the you know what out of me, because it is big hills and they come flying down there. And the one part actually it's paved, and the cars cannot drive back there. So it's not like there's vehicles. Vehicles have to stay parked in the parking area. And but still, oh my gosh, the first time I took them there, I was like, good thing I'm not too far from the hospital, because I'm sure I'm gonna end up there today. But they did fine. They did fine. They were, well, it might have been a couple of years since I've been there. Time goes so fast, doesn't it? Just seems like, ouch, that was hot. Dropped right on the top of my cuticle there. And just all of a sudden, 3-4 years have gone by, and just amazing. It's like, oh my gosh, has it been that long? Time flies by when you're having fun, I guess, right? All right, let's this is glued down. Let's go ahead and tack this down here, right to there. And I think, because I will just, without realizing, I would just keep putting stuff on, and I really think that this is good. I don't think it needs any more. Everything's glued down. Got 5 flowers. We've got our pine cones. Brings all that winter in. And we've got dimension. As you can see, got some nice dimension in the whole thing. That is it. So that is week 16 of 52 weeks of Christmas. I hope you enjoyed the video and follow along and try some of these projects. Even if you don't have the exact same thing that I have, you can easily change it up to what you like. Use your papers and your little trinkets and things. There's all kinds of little bling out there that you can use. You can make your own, and or use pre-bought ones, pre-bought stickers, whatever you're comfortable with, and that pleases you, and that you're going to enjoy. So again, I hope you decide to subscribe to my channel, and I thank you for joining me today. And until the next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.